Go.
Alright, so we're here on location. This is a crazy shoot right here. I'm straight up in my bathing suit. It's raining so much. Don't worry, you couldn't pay me to get in this water right now, but I just thought I'd demonstrate the theme with my goggles here. My boo just got me this sweet peacock towel. The weather forecast definitely just said no rain, 0 chance of rain for the foreseeable few hours. So here we are. It's really raining on me a lot, but I wanted this location shoot, so I'm just gonna get through it here, guys. I'm gonna get through this poem. It's probably gonna start blurring my writing. Oh, it's already doing it. Okay, so we'll just, this is a high octane video shoot here. Is this all in the way?
No.
Okay. Okay. High octane stuff. It's thundering. We're crazy out here. We out here being crazy. I decided to stop holding my umbrella because, you know, the thunder and the lightning and the high risk. So tell your friends. Just high intensity drama. Teal's the real deal. You know what's up. Today is day 135 and it is National Learn to Swim Day. So that's why this crazy location here where we're getting all kinds of crazy wet and taking big risks. I hope I can at least read this without it blurring all my stuff. We're gonna just go for it. Okay, so National Learn to Swim Day. Let's read, because I gotta get it done. Okay, today's poem is called But Monsters Live in There. I desperately wanted to take acting classes when I was 5. Actually, I was ready to move to Hollywood when I was 5. I didn't yet know people there try to eat you alive no matter what age or size you are. I only saw stars glittering in my young eyes. My parents would not oblige my persistence, telling me I needed to learn to do kids' things first, with some parental insistence. I put up great resistance to this stipulation. The first such obstacle they decided was learning to swim, and my hesitance was great. Even looking at the glassy water caused my heart to palpitate in strange and fearful rhythms. I would imagine being submerged and suddenly alligators, sharks, snapping turtles, and other gnashing, toothy beasts would pop into my vision. It was a very high-stakes decision, but I went along with my parents' plan to check off the normal kid boxes so that I could enter the entertainment world I didn't yet know was so very toxic. Even now when I think of entering the pool at guppy level, there's some trauma, and I think my mind sort of blocks it. I was never one who fit in, as they say. I would see other children, and they felt a million miles away. They all saw this activity as a chance to play and have fun. I, on the other hand, just wanted to run. I wasn't aware at this point, but I was also allergic to the sun. I would itch, and the kids had a ton of laughs at my expense. The spiderweb rash I now understand to be an allergy just made me put up an embarrassed defense. The instructors would explain the body positioning of a good swimmer, and to me it just never made sense. I would gaze over the wire fence thinking of the plays I should be starring in. The last thing I wanted to do in front of all these judging eyes was swim. The teachers talked to us like children, and I know that's what we were, but it still perturbed me when they condescendingly told me, just kick those fins, like it was easy. I would flop around awkwardly and they'd say, nice try, to appease me. The worst thing about this whole rites of passage chapter was the unexpected fear that seized me. The other kids splashed and laughed in the water like this was utopia. I didn't understand yet that I had a little something called thalassophobia. It isn't just being afraid of the water, it is the imagined beasts that lurk inside waiting to slaughter me. I would actually feel their sharp teeth against my little chicken legs. Sometimes it got so bad, I would actually plead and beg the teachers to let me just sit it out. I guess they had no notion of what phobias are all about because they showed no mercy when I would cry and shout. I guess my constant mention of wanting to be a movie star caused them to have their doubts about my panic. It was very real, however, and sometimes I'd go in and just freeze up, sinking like the Titanic. They rolled their eyes like I planned it, but I still have the same reaction today when I'm anywhere near water and I carefully scan it. It's like a tiny flame and I just obsessively fan it. I don't take it for granted that I live by so many gorgeous water sites, but no matter how much I try to talk myself out of it, when I get close, I start to feel the fright. It isn't even just water where the underlayers are out of sight. I get the same fears in bathtubs or public pools in glaring daytime light. It's worse in the water that's dark and cloudy, but when it's crystal clear, the mental warnings still come through loudly. I remember the other kids at swim class doing laps with ease so proudly. Then there was me, trying to hide the knocking of my knobby little knees. I didn't want to get in that H2O even if it was 103 degrees outside. My mom would pick me up and she could tell I was struggling, but she'd say, "At least you tried." Still to this very day, I can't get submerged in water without the terrified alarms going off inside. I tell myself it's irrational, but my nerves just won't comply. I would often cry in the locker room even when I finally upgraded to the level of dolphin. The teacher asked if I was okay, and I said it was just allergies from pollen. Truth is, every time I go past my knees in the water, I genuinely feel like I'm falling. Once I almost drowned up at Horsetooth, and it was all due to uncontrollable endorphins. I got in feeling confident that I could indeed swim, but the scene rapidly turned grim as I began to freak out and my limbs just started flailing. It was anything but smooth sailing. It was supposed to be a fun day taking a dip, and all at once it was like a bad trip. My frantic head started to dip under the surface. And luckily, the lifesaver that day served its intended purpose. It's such an odd fear, and in high anxiety times, even a very deep puddle can make me nervous. I wish we could just sever the fears that don't serve us, but they somehow stay ingrained. Luckily, after a few meltdowns, I started acting classes because trying to move up the ranks to shark or whale would have driven me insane. I've grown to accept my unique and often sensitive brain. I have to be gentle with myself because even in the bath, I sometimes feel sure that something will slither up from the drain. I haven't been able to train myself out of this spiral of aquatic worry. I once had an actual snake go right between my legs at a nude hot spring, and you better believe I got out of there in a hurry. I wear a life vest in lakes and reservoirs because I can't ever be sure in water that's blurry. I don't like the storm of intrusive thoughts that come in unstoppable flurries, but hey, I'm a sensitive little birdie. At least I know there's others out there with the same phobia. That mildly assures me. At least I got that long-anticipated spotlight after my feigned attempt at normalcy. Cool, so check out that paper, y'all. We're talking about like high intensity here. We're talking about like blurry words. Let's just go over to the lookout for a nice little scenic. Finally the sun has come out. Whoa, you gotta check out this huge array of look at all of these cows over here. Can you see them? Can you zoom in on them?
Where? Oh.
Look at this.
Okay.
We got like a lineup of a gajillion cows. Cool. Oh wow, so many birds too. Got a cool scene here, folks. But yeah, so here we are in this beautiful scene, and I'm just kind of insane with my cool new towel and ready to jump in. Not, definitely not. But thanks for joining me, day 135. Just staying alive on day 135. Look at all these birds, are you seeing them? This beautiful, beautiful collection of birds. So yeah, the fun is popping out. Almost. The sun is popping out, and we're just on this beautiful spot. And yeah, those are my thoughts. Oh yeah, I had to mention too, be sure to check out my future girlfriend's poetry book. Lily Reinhart, she has a really cool book of poetry called Swimming Lessons. It's so deep. We're gonna date someday, it's cool. But yeah, that was just my thoughts on learning how to swim, because it was really hard for me. My parents also wanted to add to the list learning to ride a bicycle. That did not happen until I was 14 years old, and I ran into a car, not a moving one, just a parked one, because I just literally could not do it. And just, what's that movie? There's Something About Mary, right? She's like, Is that something about Mary? I think it's something about Mary. Or wait, is it Dumb and Dumber? It's one of those like classic dumb comedies, right? Where the chick is like, she's got the neck brace and she hits hits the parked car. That was me. My parents also made me take a bike club, like go to bicycle club, and I totally rolled down a hill and fell off a bridge. I think maybe I've told that story before. But yeah, they wanted me to do all these like child rites of passage before I could become a star. And that just didn't get very far because I'm not normal. That's fine. They accepted it and finally let me become the thespian I was destined to be. Wow, that rhymed nicely. Thespian I was destined to be. So we got a great scene here, and it's starting to rain again, and I really like the look of it, and the sun is just this little peekaboo. Oh, you gotta do a little close up of the water because it looks so cool. Don't drop it now, but it looks so cool with the rain on it. So that's it. Day 135. See you tomorrow. Poetry Fix on day 136.